Hello, happy Thanksgiving. I have to make sure to keep the camera at one specific distance because the microphone is not a very super ultra high-tech one, I think. I have to make sure that I don't talk too close or too far. It has to be like this, something like that. Yeah, no, because then my voice becomes louder and it fades in and out. It's no good technology here with this camera. But I love the camera because it is shock resistant. That's a must in my lifestyle. So anyway, here's the blue god. Here's my artwork, and there is Paul's face. I don't know if this comes out. I have to see. It's upside down now. It's upside down. It is upside down because I had the camera face towards me, and when I turn it around forward, then the picture is upside down, but that's okay. That is okay. Anyway, so sometimes the sun shines right at that face of Paul. Anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about what I have been doing, just to give some inspiration to other people. My husband just told me that a comet, when was that today? Today?
ISON, comet.
Comet ISON? How is that? How is that spelled? Like the German word Eisen?
Please.
Iron?
No, come and look at it first, and then do
Okay.
it. Come and look.
Okay, I can't come and look right now because I'm going to do my artwork next.
No, you take.
But tonight I'm going to research it on the internet, and then I might make another video about that, about the information on it tomorrow, but just wanted to mention it. This probably happened today on Thanksgiving Day. So, and it was a Thanksgiving to planet Earth by the sun. The sun.
No, please turn it off. Please turn it off.
The sun has liquefied the comet.
Did not liquefy it. Did not
And
liquefy it. No, that's not what happened. That's not what happened.
And I will get the details tonight. But the sun has evaporated the comet, and now, because it got too close to the sun, and now we are safe from that comet that could somehow maybe in the future sway out of its orbital centrifuge, and might even come down to Earth. So it is good that the sun has liquefied it, and I think this is wonderful, and it is a thanksgiving from the sun, and I'm saying thanks to the sun back.
For destroying ISON. I-S-O-N.
Yeah.
I-S-O-N.
Okay, ISON, I-S-O-N. Okay, it's not like not the German word Eisen. Okay. ISON. Okay.
ISON.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I laid down in the sun today, and it felt good. I always make sure not to get my face in the sun and my eyes, and make sure that we all wear sunglasses. And that Kenny's eyes don't get in the sun because they are very light blue. And he wants to play with the neighbor kids that are out there play ball with them, but the mother is afraid of Kenny, and she already said to them, "Don't go near that dog." And that's not good when mother says don't go near the dog, because what it does to the children is it says to the children, dogs are dangerous. Dogs are not good news. We have to stay away from dogs. That's not good, because not all dogs are dangerous, and they know Kenny is not dangerous.
Here,
Peace and love for all beings. My
Very, very
husband
interesting.
is yapping away, as always, yapping away. On Thanksgiving Day, he is yapping away, always yapping away. Painting of my husband in a horizontal position, and then he is yapping away and yapping away and yapping away on the kitchen table, eating, yapping away, and me, I'm getting up, don't holler, and we're eating Thanksgiving, and I still made a monumental painting of him, and it is hanging on the wall. He is now forever, living forever in this painting, and he doesn't even understand what a serious meaning this has, okay? And his face forever there, and he thinks of himself as a little Willy, but he's not, you know, and that's why he's yapping away, because he thinks like he's a little Willy, you know, so he needs to affirm himself. He needs to bloat himself up a little bit, like a fearful little bird, you know, does that, to make himself bigger. I see a little smirk come up now in the face. Yeah, so anyway, we have to make everything into art. Everything needs to be artified. Because once we artify things, we loveify things. Okay, this is very important. Now I'm going back and forth now between the camera and myself. Love and peace for all living beings. Okay. Anyway, I have to make sure to stay at one specific distance and not talk louder and lower like this. Anyway, I just made a fantastic perfume. It is called Cotton Candy, but I have to give it an extra name now, because cotton candy already exists, I think, in different variation. That flavor somewhere out there, I've heard it. But when I smelled it, what I made today, it reminded me of ultra cotton candy. Okay, maybe that's what I need to call it, ultra cotton candy. That's amazing. I just threw all kinds of flavors together. I remember I did this long time ago in Hanover. I had ordered a concoction of different essential oils at the pharmacy. In the German pharmacies, they can get you all kinds of essential oils ordered and mixed together. They have a little laboratory where they mix it together. This is really neat. The German pharmacies, they sell a lot of natural stuff. So this is absolutely fantastic. I love it. And I wish deeply that in the United States they will catch up with this, and they will learn from this, and they will also include homeopathy into the study of medicine, which they do already in Germany and maybe in other countries in Europe as well, because it has helped a lot of people. And it is better than harsh interventions. You don't want to go to harsh interventions. You want to try the holistic way first. You want to try everything holistic first. And I have taken homeopathic medications when I was 24 or 25, and I was sick with chickenpox because my brother was doing the substitute service for the German military. They have the military service and they have the substitute service. so he chose the substitute service, the non-combat type of exercises, so the non-combat service, the peaceful service. So good for him. And so when they do that, they have to go into geriatric homes and into old people's places and homes, and where the old people, they have somebody, a nurse or something, come there every day and clean up and take care of them. So he had to do that for like 2 years, and there was a woman with chronic pox, and it was and when he was vacuuming, it was like kind of like a tickling sound going through the vacuum cleaner, like a little rattling sound that went sucking up from all these dried chicken pox skin flakes on the floor. They were like rattling up into the into the vacuum cleaner. Yeah, so neither he and I had enough immunization to chicken pox, and I think it's a virus. I had it as a child, but it didn't break out all the way. So my immune system fought it off already before it could get stronger, and before my body could actually develop actual antibodies towards it. So I've never had developed the antibodies, and so then when it hits you after 20, it gets really bad. And so my brother and I got it really bad, and I got it extra bad because I had just had a real severe bronchitis right before. So my immune system was struggling. I was under a lot of stress with the psychotic boyfriend at that time, and with that flu that was horrible. I was quitting smoking all at once, and then I got this horrific chicken pox from that old lady that had chronic chicken pox, and so my face got all scarred, and I had these real big, like incredible infectious bumps in my face, like pimples, really bad. It was all over my head. When I feel under the surface of my hair, I can still feel the scars from those chicken pox. They were like one chicken pox next to another, like my whole face, my scalp all full, the hair, skin all full of these bumps, and it was amazing. My whole body full of it, and my boyfriend at that time took pictures of me naked with these bumps all over me, and nothing worked, and it was insane. And I had an emergency doctor come to the house, and she gave me something that didn't work at all. It's an antihistamine. It didn't work at all for the itching, and the worst part of it was the itching, the healing process. When the chicken pox actually start to heal up, that itches so horrible. I mean, it was bad, the pain of it, all these open sores, but the itching was the worst. I was actually screaming out of itching. It was so bad. It was torture. So I sent him to our doctor. It's amazing how I sway off the subjects, but they're all tying in with one another. So I sent him over to our holistic doctor, and they had the most amazing holistic doctors already at that time, and he was an anthroposophical doctor, and he gave my husband amazing homeopathic little pastilles, tiny little sugar balls, and he told him to tell me to take 10 of those and let them dissolve in my mouth. every 10 minutes or every 20 minutes or something like that. And I did this, and right after I took the first 10, like a few minutes later, the itching was like 20%, 30% reduced. I couldn't believe it. I kept taking this, and the itching went away in like 1 or 2 hours, and like in a very, very short time, just on the very first day. I kept taking it, and I kept taking it because it was very serious. I was taking this very seriously, and the itching went away. The healing sped up even more. There was, like, after an hour or 2 or 3 hours, there was no more itching at all. But I kept taking it, and I kept eating a lot of fresh fruits and drinking those amazing juices that they were selling, really high quality vitamin raw juices that they were selling then. And so all of this made me well, and this is absolutely fantastic. I made wholesome cotton candy perfume oil out of only pure natural essential oils from many different flavors and plants. I would say 20 or 30 different flowers and herbs, and it smells amazing. And I suggest to everybody to go holistic, to go natural, with natural essences if you want to heal anything. I even made a wrinkle cream now, and I'm not gonna give away the recipes for that because then I might get in trouble or something. I don't want to tell people now, here, this is what you have to do, and then you're gonna cure an illness or something. And then the medical industry, that's so corrupt, they will come with their lawyers, with their greedy lawyers, and they will say, you said that, and that's illegal, we got you, they've already taken our rights away on all of these things, and then they will try to get people for saying this or that. It's really terrible. That's why all these the herbalists, they have to put this disclaimer at the beginning. If you are seriously ill, you have to go to the doctor. It's kind of like really, really counteractive to their own business. And actually, it is like what the medical industry asks from us to do is the ultimate double standard, and it's the ultimate irony and sarcasm, actually, because it's the very thing they don't want. It's the very thing that the corporate industries, the corporate agenda does not want people to, for example, even make a protest in front of a store. You can get arrested now under ETA, Animal Enterprises Terrorism Act, which was established in the last year of Junior Bush. And under this law, and Barack Obama made it even wider, made it even more corporate during his term. And that's why we cannot vote for him again if we are seriously caring about planet Earth. You have to vote for Hillary Clinton. This is very important. I'm going to make a couple more campaign videos for her. Oh, by the way, I'm wearing Hillary t-shirt, and I made this myself. I had this t-shirt here, and as you can see, I had to make an extension in the middle to make it wider, because I got a little wider since 2008. I got like this much this much wider. Okay, I had made a movie with this t-shirt, or I had two of them. The other one I'd unfortunately damaged because I cut it open, and then I just wore it cut open, but then it ended up becoming a rag or something. But this one I rescued, and I put the extension in the middle all the way down, and then I also made an extension onto the bottom, so it goes up to here, because I have a very long back and I like to, because I'm chubby, when I bend over, my t-shirts always slip up, and that's not good. And so I like to have long t-shirts that don't slip up. And then the ischias nerve gets really cold, and sometimes it can hurt really bad when it gets too cold, like overnight, for example. So anyway, I love this scarf here. So yeah, Hillary Clinton, baby, okay? This is it. Anyway, now I forgot what I wanted to say again. Holistic, and yeah, okay, there's Animal Enterprises Terrorism Act, established by Junior Bush, is totally going the Constitution of Thomas Jefferson, the original constitutional rights, civil rights of the United States is violated with this law, really, really brutally, and most people are not aware of it. So when you are protesting in front of a fur store, for example, to say harmlessly with a little banner, "Don't buy the fur coat," you are now making yourself a subject of interrogation and being taken away from your family. Family is not notified. You can be transported to an Arizona prison camp, and you will not have a lawyer, and you will not even have a tribunal of any sort. So this is what they have done to us. And at the same time, okay, the corporations, the corporate agenda, the medical industry is reserving themselves the right to cut your freedom of speech even more by making Dr. Schultz, for example, have this disclaimer in front of his video that people have to seek a medical professional before, and he is a medical professional. He is an herbologist, and he has studied medicine to a large degree, as what I heard. He's done all the pathology years and all of this, and he has worked on corpses and the worst part of the medical study program. He has done all this. Of the degree of herbalism is not really a fully accepted study field or something. It should be, okay, it's just people study as long as every other area, 8 years. And it's an extremely complex field and science. And just like, for example, the farmers in Europe before Christianity took over, every farmer was a scientist. That's what Rudolf Steiner said. They had so much knowledge about the planet. They had so much knowledge about the moon and the stars and how they rotate and how they have an influence with the gravitational fields on the crops and on the little microorganisms and insects, and they knew all about it, and they lived with perfect harmony until Christianity took over and forbid them to keep practicing nature and knowledge of Mother Earth. So, and then all these Christians, they go right with it, they go fully along with this Christian belief, and they don't question any of it. So the very argument that is used by the corporate agenda, the pro-corporation agenda, like the whatever exploitational businesses, they now have the right, the fur whatever retail stores now are given the right to tell you cannot be putting up a banner in front of their store on city property, not even their own, city property, to deter people from going in the store and buying the fur, and because they're telling them it's unethical. So they are taking that right away from us. That's freedom of speech right, because they have now this new claim that it will hurt their business. Okay? So now, the very same argument can be used for the people who want to do good, like Dr. Schultz, Dr. Schultz can use the same argument. He could take a lawyer and use the same argument and say, wait a minute, what the corporations are doing to me now with this disclaimer is the same thing as they claim, and much worse. It's hurting my business. Okay, this disclaimer is hurting my business. Who knows how many people are being discouraged because of this shitty disclaimer in the beginning. They go there and they want to get some ideas on how to heal themselves without surgery, and then comes this disclaimer that says, well, you have to seek your medical professional if you have, we don't have the authority, whatever it says, to give you that advice on it. So you have to go to your doctor. It's every single time I see this on any kind of really seriously great website that gives information on holistic health. And it's because they've infiltrated our rights with this, with these kind of new laws. They have taken away our civil rights with this, and at the same time that the exact same argument could be used in this case. This is hurting the business of the holistic practitioner, and not only hurting his business, it's hurting people, it's hurting the environment and the greater good. And but the fur industry, for example, or there's many other examples, they get away with, or for example, the agricultural businesses where they have like mass animal agriculture, where the animals are in tiny cages, and you are not allowed to film it undercover. It's now considered terrorism. So the same argument, this is hurting our business, can be used. It could be used legally. The exploitational businesses, they get lawyers that will fight that through for them and even change the laws, in the Supreme Courts. And they will completely mold our laws, entire law complex in favor of the exploitational businesses, and completely against the business of people who are trying to do good for the world. So I'm telling people, use your own common sense with things. Question things and use your common sense, and be inspired by those who have healed themselves naturally. I don't do surgeries at all. I'm not allowed even to say in this video, don't do surgery, because then they might even come with a lawyer or something. So I have to be extremely careful on how I word myself even. This is a total violation of our constitutional rights. It's extremely sad. But I still have the right to say, this is how I do it. I have healed myself many times over with holistic means, with Dr. Schultz's herbs. Dr. Schultz has really helped me tremendously. I was on cocktails of psychopharmaceuticals, all kinds, the whole range of things. Everything was tried and experimented on me, and I experimented with myself with all all these horrific toxic things, and it ruined my liver. My liver was hurting. I couldn't even get up. I couldn't even go hiking anymore. I would have to like collapse on the hiking trail. I was so weak, and my kidneys were laboring, and everything was so toxic, my blood and everything, and it was affecting my organs. And I can only speak from my own experience, how horrific that was to take pharmaceutical medication. Okay, I can't recommend it to you, or they will come with their greedy lawyers. But I can only say it saved my life to quit all of those pharmaceuticals. It really did. And I actually have long-term nerve damage, like in my face, where sometimes I have twitching or something. That's long-term nerve damage from the psychopharmaceutical medication. It's really serious. And I cleansed my liver and my kidneys, my whole body out with Dr. Schulze's herbal formula, and with his detox cures, and with the bowel detox. The bowel is basically, it's like the center point of toxification. That's where the toxins get in, and from there the toxins get into the whole system. And when the bowel gets completely flushed out and cleaned out, and it's also good, I think the colonics I have done have helped me a whole lot. So I personally can only say that I wish deeply that people will become aware, that even the people, the CEOs who are in those exploitational corporations, will wise up one day and become aware that, for example, Dick Cheney is like the perfect example here. It's like the epitome of the exploitational corporate CEO, and CEO of an oil company, Halliburton, and maybe some others, I don't know, but being CEO of an oil business, that's already pretty bad, I would say. If they ever become aware of what they're doing, if they would ever become aware, they would stop in their tracks immediately, and they would say, I'm not going to go on this path any further. It's the path of destruction, and I'm not going to go on this any further. I'm going to turn around. I'm going to transform that business into a green producing business. And that is possible. Other corporations have done it. I've seen it in Germany. But I'm not even asking everybody, I'm not even asking people like Dick Cheney to become like hugely charitable now. All I'm asking is turn it around, turn the business around. You can do it. You can turn this around. And Dick Cheney had a complete change of mind, change of heart, literally, after his heart surgery. He had major heart surgery, open heart surgery, and right after that surgery, he was, for like a month, I just talked to my mother about this the other day, because my mother and I, we both saw the footage of an interview done with him after the surgery. He was promoting Hillary Clinton after that surgery. And it didn't last very long, because what happened is, during the surgery, he's come closer to the truth. And he was a completely different person. He was no longer brazen, and he was skinny, and he was pale, and he was really humbled. And he saw the truth. He saw what life is all about and should be all about. And not long after that, he was interviewed again. There he was again for waterboarding and for going into the Middle Eastern countries and for war and all of this. So shocking, how somebody can can be transformed so fast through open heart surgery, having a change of heart, literally, for a month. And then things started to stabilize with his health, and he saw he wasn't going to die that soon. He was gonna be living for another couple of years, maybe 10 or maybe more years. So then he started to become corporate again, and I just personally just can't imagine how is that possible. How can he, for after having seen the truth, how can he become corporate again? This is what's happening in the brain. What kind of mechanisms are happening in the brain? What kind of biology is taking place there? What is happening with the different brain formations that are there to give us that opportunity to look at things from above, to look at the truth, to look at how all these things tie in with one another, and the compassion part, and what happens with this, is why do people become corporate just because they see, oh, I'm gonna live for another 10 or 15 or 20 years, I better be corporate again. It doesn't make any sense. Your life would be so much better if you were not corporate. If you were a corporate role model instead. If you were the one who didn't follow into the corporate path as a corporation manager. So you could be a role model. Instead, you could do so much better. You could become a raw food vegan, Dick Cheney. Become a raw food vegan and heal your heart. Not only have a change of heart, heal your heart. Literally and metaphorically. Heal your heart. Heal your amygdala. Okay? Heal yourself. Become somebody who gives thanks, like on Thanksgiving, but in a really real meaning, not in some kind of corporate, now Black Friday sale. Not in that sense. Not in the sense of let's stuff our throats now with whatever, with turkey. Battered, tortured, beaten turkey. No. Let's get together and let's eat a vegetarian meal or a vegan meal, or let's eat raw. Heal our hearts, heal our love.